Hi, my name is Nova, and today I'll be reading a book called Hooway for Wodney Wat by Helen Lester and illustrated by Lynn Munsinger. Poor Wodney Wat. His real name was Rodney Rat, but he couldn't pronounce his R's. To make matters worse, he was a rodent. A wodent. You can see Rodney here reading a book about R's. "What's your name?" asked the other rodents. "Wodney Wat," whispered Wodney. "What's another name for bunny?" they asked knowingly. "Wabbit," he mumbled. "And how does a train travel?" They winked at each other. "The twain travels on twain tracks," Wodney replied miserably. You can see them gathered around Rodney, laughing. Poor Wodney. All this teasing day in and day out made Wodney the shyest rodent in his elementary school. His squeak could barely be heard in class, and he gnawed lunch alone. You can see this here. The teacher can barely hear Wodney, and he's eating lunch all alone. And while the other rodents scurried and scooted about during recess, Wodney hid in his jacket. You can see it here. Then one day, as the rodents were taking turns doing wheelies, a new rodent, and a very large rodent, barged into the classroom and announced, "My name is Camilla Capybara. I'm bigger than you, I'm meaner than any of you, and I'm smarter than any of you." Then she added, "So there. This is Camilla." With that, she accidentally, on purpose, elbowed an ear, bumped 2 noses, stepped on 3 tails, and lay down on a desk. Fur prickled in fear throughout the classroom. She sure was bigger than any of them. She sure looked meaner than any of them. But was she smarter than any of them? You can see Camilla doing all these mean things to the rodents. "What's 2 plus 2? Asked Miss Fuzzleworth. "4! Shouted Camilla Capybara without even bothering to raise her paw. "And furthermore, 4 plus 4 is 8, 8 plus 8 is 16, and 243 plus 125 is 368. Later, when Miss Fuzzleworth asked, "What's the capital of?" Camilla interrupted, "New York, Albany, population 295,594. And during science, in answer to the question, "What part of the plant is grown below the ground?" Camilla Capybara danced on her desk and sang, "Root, root, Rooty toot toot." Yup, thought all the rodents. She's smarter than us too. They felt very, very uncomfortable. Every afternoon, just before the final recess bell, Miss Fuzzleworth drew a name from her hat to see who would be the leader for their favorite game, Simon Says. She scrunched her eyes closed and jiggled the hat. Would it be Hairy Hamster? Or maybe Minnie Feet Mouse? Grizzlefur's Guinea Pig? Or could it be mean, smart Camilla Capybara? Miss Fuzzleworth reached her paw in and pulled out the name of Wodney Wat! The bell rang and there was a wild scurry for the door, and Camilla Capybara was the first on the playground, having trampled all the other students. Right here. To Wodney, she looked especially scary. What would she do when she heard him speak? Breathe capybara breath in his face? Or tie him up in his own tail? Or even pounce on him? Oh no. The tiny, trembling leader of the game stood before the eager players, his head well inside his jacket, and squeaked. Wodney says read the sign. While the other students read, PS 142 Elementary School for Rodents, Camilla began pulling weeds around the sign and wildly flinging dirt hither and yon till she was up to her teeth in dirt. The other rodents began to smile. You can see Camilla pulling up all the weeds. Wodney says, wrap your paws around your head. He peeked a little out of his jacket and saw, whap whap, whappity slappity whap. Camilla was whapping her paws around her head, and she became so dizzy from whapping herself so hard, she gave herself a headache, and she had to sit down. The other rodents couldn't stop giggling. You can see it here. Wodney says, wing around the wosy. Camilla put out her arms like wings and made an airplane noise. But where was the wosy? What was a wosy? By now, Wodney's voice was stronger and his head was entirely out of his jacket. Wake the leaves! Nobody moved. Wodney says, wake the leaves! While Hairy, Minifeet, and Grizzlefrizz and the others busied themselves ranking, Camilla Capybara grabbed one leaf. Wake up, she yelled. She snatched up another. Come on, you! Up, up, up! And another. Rise and shine! And another. Boo! By now, all the other rodents were squealing with laughter. All but Camilla, who frowned. Stupid leaves. They won't wake up. And why was everyone laughing at her? Such foolies. You can see everyone laughing at her with all the leaves twirling around. In a voice so strong he had to hold his own ears, Wodney called, Wodney says go west. The other rodents collapsed in a happy heap for a rest. Go west. Camilla Capybara, feeling very smart, that she could tell directions by the sun, said, all right, I shall go west. And she added, so there. West she stomped, forever. She was gone. And from that day on, the pupils at PS 142 Elementary School for Rodents never teased Wodney again. He was their hero. Hooway for Wodney Wat, they cried. Woot woot, woody toot toot. You can see Wodney with all his other classmates looking happy and excited. And that was Hooway for Wodney Wat.